Hey there, welcome back to yet another. It's day four. We've got Justin Fox, founder and CEO of Backers, basically the launchpad for crypto stocks or security tokens here in Canada. So if you have a business, you're looking to launch, raise capital the newest way possible. Everyone's heard about crypto, Bitcoin, all these different coins out there, cryptocurrencies. Well, they're no different from a crypto stock or a crypto share in an offering similar to what Marc-Andre Coulombe and Trees of Lives are doing, in that they represent shares or ownership in something, in an entity. The only difference is that they're typically unregulated, whereas here with Backers, we're allowing you to launch essentially your own crypto stock or crypto share or crypto token, security token representing shares or ownership in your business right here on the Backers platform. So I'm joined here by my guest, Marc-Andre Coulombe, Chief of Corporate Affairs with Virtus Terra. Mark, thank you very much for joining me again. I guess we're now co-hosts, right? So maybe I'll just leave it to you today. Why don't you run the show? Why don't you tell us what we're doing today, what you guys are doing with Backers and on the Backers platform? Why don't you take over the show? It's Friday. I noticed you got your hat. You had the boomerang. We joked about doing something interesting. I wore a bit of a colorful Irish, I believe. Anyone out there, soccer jersey. It may be also a field hockey jersey because I have one of those as well. But or hurley, which is slightly different in Ireland. But Mark, why don't you take over? Today's your day. Tell us where we're going. I know where we're going, but why don't you tell the people where we're going?
Yeah, but today we're not going to be too serious. We've been serious all the week, and maybe like Fridays or like a day in the week, we might be like a little bit less serious. But we're talking about a very serious subject like impact investments, and we're going to talk about that also today, but with a little bit more fun and entertainment. So. Justin, you're supposed to get the blog like and share that with people. So we're going to go through that. We're going to explore, what's impact investment, why it's so important, and how it can be a lot of fun to discuss that. But we'll just go through all the subject and maybe like trying to have a little bit of fun today through this.
So where do I find the blog? Just so if I'm on your site, obviously, let's go to. Why don't you walk? Why don't you walk? Let's walk through. Let's walk.
Yeah. Just go. Just share the screen and then start from Google so that everyone can find us or start with the URL. Let's start from the beginning.
Exactly. So let me just let me get this.
Share your screen.
Yes.
You can do it.
I can do it. Exactly. So here we go. So there we're sharing the screen there.
Okay, so now you are on Virtus Terra website. That's great. Yeah. So Virtus Terra. Oh, I don't see anything.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, I see it. I don't see it.
There we go. Yeah.
It's playing with me.
There you go. So
okay. So right now you're on the Virtus Terra website. So that's the website explain basically what we do. We're restoring the planet's degraded land, generating benefits for all, and over the course of the following month we're going to explore that website. But for today, let's click on the bottom, the top right, Trees of Lives here. And then click on the link, like learn more about our business model. We're going right through Trees of Life website. So Trees of Life website, it's an impact investment for the planet. We are creating a green economy around the restoration ecosystem while generating benefits for the environment and people. So just go through a little bit of the page. So you have the video, the corporate video together. Let's reinvent impact investing. So basically, we're target investment, return on investment is 7%. We're giving off like carbon offset and certified credits with those investments. We measure the impact on biodiversity and the 17 SDGs. We're going through all of that. And we also have annual distribution to investor. So more about the Trees of Life Fund, like you see those beautiful mother and girl. So right now this fund is more focusing on Latin America. It will be worldwide, but we need to start from somewhere. So the fund right now is investing in degraded land in Latin America. If you go down a little bit, so as you see, this is an initiative of Veritas Terra. So there's a link between the two sides. Veritas Terra is the operator that does the restoration activities, and Trees of Lives is the investment vehicle, to fund all of those projects. So why won't you, click on the blog again on the top right. If you go a little bit up, you see blogs and the FAQ. There we go. So let's
go fact yourself. Is that what it is? No. Anyways,
come on. It's right,
FAQ. Pardon my French.
Frequently asked questions for those who don't know.
Yes.
So if you go down, let's start with the first blog that we wrote. So go down. Just scroll down. There we go. So the first one, with the little money pile, with the trees growing. So if you click on that, so today, like with a little bit of serious but not too much serious, we want to go through impact investing more than the trend. So I need to say that we don't have the numbers right there, but I'm going to give you those numbers. So in 2017, we were at 114 billion a year of impact investment. 2018, 228 billion a year. 2019, 502 billion a year, and 2020, 715 billion a year of impact investment. So it's increasing fast, very fast. I'll show you a slide, showing you those numbers, and you can check them for yourself on the Global Impact Investing Network in 2020. And can we put some put some stuff in the description below of those videos, Justin?
In what description?
You have a description of all the videos that we're doing right now. There will be some in the comment. I'll be commenting on the video, so I'll be giving you like the link. You can click to go and see those numbers plus the numbers. So
you want to put this in the comments?
Let's go in the comments and let's put those numbers right now in the comments so that people can follow, because this trend is the trend we need to follow. Impact investment is not just a bubble. Impact investment is a trend that is growing, and people need to know about that. It's just not Trees of Lives that is doing impact. There's a massive movement right now, around impact investment. So do you have access to
I'm just putting a comment on the so I'm just putting a link to the file that we were just talking about, correct?
Okay, yeah, do that.
Okay, perfect. We're continuing to talk about this. Do you want to talk about the characteristics of impact investing, or what?
Okay. So one thing we can say about the intention is, contrarily to ESG, environment, social, and governments, ESG fund that's trying to reduce the bad. Impact investing is trying to increase the good. It might be like the same, but it's very different. So let's say you have a company, it will be trying to reduce its investment in tobacco or oil and gas, or all those investments that can do harm. So those would be ESG investment. They're good, like they're trying to reduce the bad. They're trying to reduce their investment and bad and investment that do bad to the community and the society in general. But a step further, are impact investment. And impact investment is really looking at how much good per dollar invested this is trying to do. And to be able to be an impact investment, a real impact investment, you need to have measurable impact. And that's how, like the 7 SDGs is really helping us, because the the 7 SDGs, and you can, Justin, you start to be good with this. What's this 17 SDGs? What does it stand for?
The SDGs,
Yeah.
they are the developmental, no, the goals, right? The
Yeah, the goals.
of the World Health
S.
Organization, right?
So
So
S,
the
what is S?
sustainable development goals of the
Sustainable development goals.
development goals, right? Yeah,
That's it.
exactly.
Open a new.
Don't ask me to tell you the 17, but do you want us to go through them with them?
Open a new window with the 17 SDGs of the UN. Open a new one.
Okay, hold on a
Open a
second.
new window. Click on the plus. No, you don't need to. Just
Yeah, hold on. We're gonna get there.
okay.
I'm getting there.
So anyway, so the 17
I'm
SDGs.
producing the show and I'm on the show. It's
Exactly.
double duties.
Double
W
duty.
duties. Yeah.
Exactly.
Here,
So
let's
anyway, so the 17 SDGs are goals that have been created by the UN, the United Nations, and those are very important because they stabilize what every, I'd say, initiative people are doing. So end of poverty, nobody is against that. End hunger, ensure health, ensure inclusive and equitable quality, achieve gender equality, ensure availability and sustainable management of water, ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, modern energy for all, promote sustained, inclusive, sustainable economic growth, build resilient infrastructure. Yeah, thanks. Reduce inequality within and amongst country, make city and human settlement inclusive, ensure sustainable consumption and production pattern, take urgent action to combat climate change, conserve and sustainably use the ocean, protect and restore the promote sustainable use of forestry ecosystem, promote peaceful inclusive society, and strengthen the mean of limitation of realizing the global partnership to sustainable development. So those goals are very general, but they kind of encapsulate everything that needs to be done to have a better planet. And at Verdes Terra, and through the Trees of Life Sun, we're really attached to all of those 17 goals. They're kind of the, like the nuggets. We're trying to grow, and it's very difficult to have an impact on all of the 17 SDGs, but we're trying to think all of our strategy, we're trying to think about all of our strategy to have an impact, a positive impact, and the highest impact as possible on all those goals. Because if you're too focused on one, and you're not good for the other one, you might have something that's unbalanced and finally not that good. So the better impact is impact of all the 17 SDGs. So anyway, so if we go back to the blog, yeah, exactly. So the measurable impact is, we need to measure our impact on all the 17 SDGs. We also have, as I said, like carbon offset. So we're trying to generate as much offset as possible with those investments. But as I said, like those offset needs to be, a highest impact possible in 17 SDG. So if you produce carbon offsets, but those carbon offsets are not producing any goods, this can be improved. Your impact investment can be improved. So that's why we measure the performance, like of all of those goals we give, we target ourselves. So anyway, so why investing? Why investing in impact investment? It's simple because you're either making money having negative impact, or you invest money and make money having positive impact. And it may sound like trivial, but but if you do a little bit of your study, if you go into your investment and go one by one and trying to say, okay, my money that is now invested, how much good does that investment doing? And if you are do your due diligence, if you ask your broker dealer, if you ask, like advisor, please explain me all the good, all the impact my investment is having. You'll see that the market right now is turning for sure, is trying to do good. However, it's not all good. So if you go down and say, okay, yeah, that investment is making me good money, yes, but if all of those impact is making you good money, but you're damaging your future, it means that maybe it's good for you, but it might be not good for your children and grandchildren. So this is something that is very important to take into account. So as I said, it's a fast growing market. I just named the number. I can rename them here. Like in 2017, it was $114 billion. In 2018, 228 billion. 2019, 502 billion, and 2020, 715 million. And that number is growing. So that's a real trend. People are waking up. People are seeing, like we need to go toward those impact investments. So yeah, for sure, there's multiple advantages. It's good for everyone. Everyone has heard about the triple bottom line. So it's good for the money, good for the environment, good for the people. So it has multiple advantages to go and run toward impact investment. So yeah, for sure, it has positive impact. As I said, impact investment is not about reducing the bad; it's about increasing the good. So for sure, impact investment has a positive impact. So as I said, it's a global trend. Who's investing? So fund manager, government, individuals, non-governmental NGO, they're all going toward impact investment. As I said, the market size, I named them that, so it's going up. It's a big market and it's going up. If you go down, yeah, exactly. According to annual investor impact survey 2020, the current market size is estimated at 715 billion. So yeah, so that was 2020 and 2021. The numbers will get out soon. I bet like those numbers will be even higher. So let's talk a little bit about Veritas Terra and the restoration and sustainable management of ecosystem. So basically, Veritas Terra is trying to do three things: biotechnology, technology, and social innovation. And those three are very, very important. Why? Because like we're trying to help the society. Yesterday we talked with Denis Buteau, and Denis Buteau was putting a lot of an emphasis on, like how the local owner, the community needs to understand that their practices right now is destructive, not only for their land but for their future, and that in 10 years, 20 years from now, they will have nothing left. But the answer of Denis was yes, but they don't know what to do instead. And and I think like that's why Veritas Terra solution is so important about the all the social innovation, is that we're going to take them, discuss with them, enter into a dialogue. We're not going to teach them what to do. Like they have, like especially like the indigenous community, they have like a very huge past of good practices with the nature, and they're going to teach us, Veritas Terra, how to well manage their land, and how to have like better practices where with their own experience. And we're going to bring them, our biotechnology and our knowledge and our know-how, and together, with this dialogue, together we're going to create um, all of those ecosystem to restore all the land. And that's how I think we're doing impact investment at its best stance, and investing in the green economy. So it needs to be good for the people. It needs to be good for the planet. And like right now, I want just to talk about a little bit about the numbers. Right now we have degraded more than 2 billion hectare of land, two sides of Canada. So I mean, take the globe and do two sides of Canada. That's how much we degraded land on the planet. And every year we're adding England, as a surface area of new degraded land. So do your math. I mean, there's not a lot left. Like on the globe, there's a lot of ocean, so not a lot of forest over there. So if you take, like all the land available, I mean, there is it's crazy. So I mean, really fast, we need to turn to impact investment where we make money while restoring all the land. So yeah, I think today we went through this. So now you know a little bit more about impact investment, and like we're going to in the future, going through many more of those subjects. Uh, Justin, why won't you ask me a couple questions? I can give some answer to those.
It's kind of interesting. So I guess the one question that I'd ask, and this is unscripted, but
It's
I think
unscripted.
unscripted. We're on free flowing Fridays, but with Mark Dundee. So
But I might.
good eye, mate. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I guess the question that I would ask, and you kind of mentioned it, is the sort of not a question, but just kind of I'd clarify, and then I'd love to hear sort of your further thoughts on it. Is impact investing? I think a key that I heard from you talking is the concept of measurable, right? Being able to measure the results or the outcome or the whatever your investment is going towards. So maybe you could explain to people, obviously, people that are participating and purchasing fund units in the Trees of Life opportunity that's available on the Backers platform. Obviously, do your own due diligence. Make sure it's right for you. This is not financial advice to participate, but the measurable or the measurability aspect of it, I think, is key. Can you maybe delve into a little bit of how? I know you guys have the technological, you talk about it, but give us some like real concrete mechanisms or ways that you're actually able to measure the return or the results of your actions.
Okay, so just to give like a little bit of background, click on how it works, just to have some
Okay,
visual about that.
give me 1 second. Yeah. Do you want to go to the 6 model
Yeah,
step?
yeah. Just scroll. Yeah,
Oh, it just scrolls down.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Just scroll. Okay, so yeah, just scroll down just so people can see all the page. Give like an overview of the page. Just go down, down.
Oh, do you want to see all of it?
Yeah. See all of it. Yeah. Okay, and then we'll go up after that. Okay, so yeah, so basically, like how we can measure is by how we can measure the impact is by collecting data, basically. So how do we collect data? There's basically three types of data we collect. We collect data on the ground, we collect data in with the drones, and we collect the data from the satellites. Period. So all those three data are going to generate a lot of data, and we then need to get a platform to analyze all of this data and put the data to be usable, to take then action toward with those data. So basically, we have data, socio-economical data, like the age of the people, their salary, their marital status. Uh, do they own equipments? Do they own, what do they own? What's the size of the land? Like what's their actual, like data about themselves and their family and their land. And then we want to know, about what's their land looking like, like what's the species you have, how many trees, what's their age, what's the size of the trunk, uh, etc., all the species. And then you have all the drones, like having imagery over the land, so that each season, like winter, spring, fall, summer, you'll have a good shot of the land, and then you'll be able to see all the land of the landholder changing over the season and over time, so that you will be able to follow the trend of what happening. And then because the drone, you're not able to do very large scale sampling, because will cost too much to do all those big things. We're doing the big sampling with the satellite, so the satellite is going to give us the big picture, and then the drones is going to give us some details on the land, some high resolution details. And then the forms on the ground every year, like the forms are going to be filled. Some of them are going to be filled every year, some only one time, for the starting of a contract with someone. So all of those data are going to the Trees of Life platform, and all of those data are going to be analyzed against the 17 SDGs, against the carbon offsets, and against how much we produce commodities, and how much we sold commodities to produce to get money, like all of the out of those systems. So this is basically how we're going to measure the impact on the ground, to give us some data, and be able to say, okay, we have had that impact on forest, like the 14 SDGs, impact on forest and restoration forest. How much did we grow trees? Impact on poverty, like how much, what's their salary when we start with them? What's their salary? What's their annual revenue when we started with them? What's their annual revenue now? We are 7 years, 8 years, 10 years in the system. So what's the trend, and how their socio-economical situation involve over time? So yeah.
Perfect. So there's a number of different mechanisms that you utilize to measure the change or the impact that you're having, that your
Yeah,
investment's having. Perfect.
exactly.
So let's go back to I think the other thing. So obviously we talked about Peru, right, as the starting point.
Yeah.
So maybe you want to talk about specifically the Trees of Lives Fund that's raising money on the Backers platform. Talk a little bit about what the impact, or where you see the majority of the funds from that fund being utilized. I believe it's in this project, correct?
Yeah, exactly. So the goal for sure, is to do the restoration all over the world. So that's our goal. But we need to start somewhere. We need to be humble and start somewhere and say, okay, I want to participate in this. So where do I start? And maybe the story of where we start, it's all started in 2018, when we went in Colombia, Peru, Panama, Dominican Republic, Mexico, and we analyzed all the different countries, talked to all of those governments, ministry, etc. And Peru was the first country to say, "Hey, welcome, Verisura. Let's work together." Peru is the initiator of the Initiative 2020, and the Initiative 2020 is the initiative of Latin America to how much by 2030 they want to Latin America wants to have land restored. So Peru is now pledging a 3.2 million hectare of degraded land, and they're now facing a 200,000 hectare of degraded land every year. So every year they're losing 200,000 hectares, but they've pledged to restore 3.2 million hectares. So how they're going to get there? When we discussed with them about our business model, I mean, they had their ears open, because they said, okay, if these guys are successful in their business model, we're going to be a game changer in this. So right now we're there in Peru since 2019. We have invested ourselves, like about $1 million over to prepare, like everything that needs to be prepared for that 3,000 hectare project. So that 3,000 hectare project um, will we are able to restore it now. So if we're well funded, if like the fund are getting toward that project, we're ready to do the restoration of that project.
Perfect. Okay, so we want to jump to a different. Want to guide me here? What's the next blog we want to talk a little bit about?
Okay, so maybe we can do like a last one, and then we give ourselves a next rendezvous on Monday. So let's go on what is social impact investing. So basically, social impact investing. Impact investing is having impact, but social impact investing is having impact on the society, on the people, and this is not different, highly different, but like this is saying, I'm going to. I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. So let's say you have all those Red Plus. I don't know if you heard about Red Plus, but the Red Plus restoration project are very big conservation projects. So let's say the government says, this 2 million hectare, we're not going to cut it. So they put a shield of glass over that 2 million hectare, and they say we're not going to cut this forest. That's impact. I mean, we're not going to see those trees being cut. That's great. But if you don't think about, there's communities living in this 2 million hectare, right? Like there's people living in this forest. So if you don't take into account all those people, and then if you're just saying, like, don't cut the forest, but if those people are cutting the forest just to survive, what you do? I mean, you're kind of in front of an ethical paradigm, like paradox.
Dilemma, right?
So I mean, do you protect the forest or do you protect the people? If you protect the people, they're cutting the forest. If you protect the forest, what, you kick them out? I mean, you kick, and this is what happened in some project. They were so serious about protecting the forest that like the people over there lose their right, and it's not good. This is not what we want to do. So with Veritas Terra, we want to do social impact investment fund. So social impact investment fund is really thinking about the people and the people and the people, and if the people are taken care of, and if we can protect the forest, and if we can protect the nature through that, and if we can make a revenue, that's social impact. That's social impact investment, is thinking about the people first, then the planet, and then make sure, taking care of the planet, taking care of the people, we make as much revenue as possible, but never at the expense of those two characteristics.
Interesting. Why don't we jump into this? So let's we'll talk a little bit about the actual fund, Trees of
Yeah.
Lives, that's being raised, the funds that are being raised on the backers platform. So why don't I'm going to sort of lead you answer the questions. What is it that so Trees of Lives? Tell us a little bit about the fund. What's the name of the fund that's raising the capital on backers? Trees of Lives, and what are they buying? I guess it's a better question.
Yeah, so they're buying class A of Trees of Lives Impact Fund limited partnership. So limited partnership is unit that you own of a fund. So you're not managing it. Like you don't have any responsibility managing the money, but you have like all the rights out of this fund. So if you have like 1%, 2%, 3% of the fund, you'll get how much of the distribution this fund is producing, but without any responsibility about like
The
managing the fund.
management. So
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit. So they're getting Class A partnership units
Yeah.
in the Trees of Lives fund. So tell us. So what is the price per unit?
Yeah. So the price per unit is basically $1. So $1 for each unit. This will not be the case forever. So right now we're raising at $1 per unit. But the thing is, like when you invest in trees of lives, we grow some forests and some commodities over those degraded lands. So those trees will grow and will have a value that will increase over time. So your dollar invested is going to grow as the trees grow, right? So that's how the value of the unit will grow over time. And on top of that, like the trees and the fruit trees and all the annual crop are going to give some commodities. So they're going to be some distribution every year. And because we are doing some natural restoration, our business model is 70% productive restoration, 30% natural restoration, and for each hectare of productive restoration we have 1 hectare of conservation. So the natural restoration 30% and 1 hectare of conservation, those two blocks of land are going to generate carbon offsets. And so if you hold a unit at on the 31st of December of the year at 11 p.m. 59 minutes 59 seconds, like you're going to get, if you hold the unit at that time, at that timestamp, you're going to get all the offset that belongs to that unit
for the year.
for the year.
Right,
Exactly.
right. So it brings
Like
so there's
dividends.
advantages obviously for institutional investors as well. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what are the minimums, maximums that sort of everyday people can invest and participate at, and then accredited investors. What are the limits? Like what I mean, obviously I know the answer, but tell the people out there what it is they can invest. What are they looking at when they get to the backers site? And they see the Trees of Lives offering, what can they expect?
Okay, so basically, like the game changer of this, it's the minimum. Like the minimum is $100 minimum. So I mean, before, like our partnership was 5,000 minimum because of the fee, but because of backers, now the minimum is $100. So about anyone can, like have access to this amount. So if you want to help the planet, if you want to do, you feel you want to do your part on this planet, and you feel that Trees of Life is a good way to do it, I mean, $100 is very accessible. And the maximum, like for the crowdfunding, I think is without any advice, I think is 2,500, and with advice, I think is 10,000, and for qualified people, I think is how much money you have in your bank account. So
Right.
this doesn't
Within reason, right? Obviously, do your own due diligence. But yeah, I mean, it does open up and makes. I mean, that's the whole point of backers, right? Is backers was designed. Like the inception came to me a few 6-7 years ago, looking at the opportunity to go out and raise capital from traditional markets. Extremely difficult for many people to do. Banks typically, your traditional lenders, banks and secondary lenders are going to reject most early entrepreneurs. And obviously this is an opportunity now for everyone at all walks of life to participate in these different opportunities. So this is just another great way where you can invest your dollars. Obviously do your own due diligence, but and this is not financial advice, but you can invest in an opportunity that could or will benefit both the globe, the world, your future, and financially benefit you in the form of returns and potential and annual dividends. And if you are, I believe there's a threshold. Tell us a little bit about that. What is there a threshold on who actually gets the carbon credits, or is everyone that holds the units eligible for the carbon credits or the carbon
Okay,
offsets?
so the people that will hold the carbon offsets, the carbon credits, is everyone. Everyone will have access to the carbon offset for themselves to become either carbon neutral or carbon negative. So that's for everyone. And for institutions that wants to market those offset, like that, because obviously, institutional investor, they can't get offset for themselves. Like they will have some needs, but they will generate much more offset than what they need for. So so at $1 million and over, if you're a rich guy, you or a rich company, and you want to market those offset, you want to produce them for yourself first. It's very important to think about, become carbon neutral for yourself first. But then if you produce more carbon offset than for yourself, and then if you produce more and you want to market them, $1 million and over, and that's the deal. We are providing unvetted carbon offsets so that you can remarket them on the market, right?
Right. So you've got obviously what is $1 million if you're holding $1 million, or how many units do you have to hold to actually get the carbon credits?
Yeah, for now at this price, it will be a million unit, right? A million unit,
Units, right?
$1 million. You'll be able to have this access to this.
To the credits. Okay, interesting. And obviously closing when?
So we're closing very fast. I mean, we're closing January 14. So in less than a month. So we're going to run this all through holidays. We will have a good time together. It will be a lot of fun. We will have some guests also coming with us. So it will be a lot of fun. And January 14 is the last day. You can enjoy Trees of Life at $1 per unit. After that, it's a mystery, what will be the price after that. But for sure, like you'll be able to get the unit at $1 only until the January 14th.
All right, cool. So this is sort of the initial offering, right? Obviously, it'll go up in steps over time. Okay, cool. So is there anything else you want to touch on? Obviously, it's Friday afternoon. Hope everyone enjoys their weekend. What are you up to for the weekend, Mark?
Yeah, so
tell the people what do you do on the weekend?
Yeah, so on the weekend, so I'm with my family. So I've, for full disclosure, I have 4 kids. So it's a lot of going outside, being with the kids, going in the park, having fun with them. So it's very simple family life, and I enjoy being with them. And we talk to you on Monday, right?
Awesome. We'll be back on Monday. Same, likewise. I've got 2 little boys. We'll be hanging out, enjoying some time. Should be a good weekend. So everyone else out there, stay safe. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you guys again on Monday. If you're checking it out, the link to participate is in the comments below. Check out the links to the various blog posts that we were talking about on Trees of Life, the Trees of Life website. You can catch all of that on the comments below. Put those down there. So again, thanks everyone for joining us. Mark, Andre, Chief of Corporate Affairs with Veritas Terra, Justin Fox, founder and CEO of Backers. Enjoy your weekends. Thanks again, Mark.
Enough.
Awesome.